Hi, my name is Becky and I'm a culinary educator. Today I'm going to show you how to make banana bread. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is mash the bananas. And to make this bread, you're going to need 3 really ripe bananas. You want the bananas that are past their due date that no one would want to eat, because these are the ones that have the best flavor. So we're just going to peel those and put those in a bowl to mash them. So I'm just going to mash those bananas really well until there are no chunks. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of milk. Okay, so second, I'm going to take half a cup of olive oil, and I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of organic cane sugar. Now with all the recipes I make, I tend to cut out some of the salt and cut some of the sugar and cut some of the oil. So for this one, we're not using butter, we're going to use olive oil. And then we're going to add in 2 eggs. I like the brown ones, but any type of egg will do. We're just going to mix that. It just needs to be lightly mixed because we're going to kind of blend it all later. So next I'm going to take a large bowl and I'm going to add in 2 cups of organic flour and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And cinnamon is really good for you because it has a lot of antioxidants in it, which are good for your immune system, good for your skin, good for quite a bit. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then half of a teaspoon of salt. And you do need some salt in this bread because it helps the flavors mix. We're making enough for 2 loaves of banana bread. So then we're going to just kind of mix all the dry ingredients together. We're going to begin to add in the wet ingredients. Because we're using olive oil instead of butter, we can add it in a little faster than you normally would. If you have a Mixmaster, you can also mix this and that. If you have a food processor, that's good too. But you want to mix it until there are no more lumps. I usually mix it by hand and then sometimes I'll run it through the blender. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil 2 small pans. This recipe usually uses a 9x3x5 pan, but I don't have one of those, so I'm going to just use 2 smaller ones. If you have a 5x9x3, use it, or if you have, a larger pan, you might not cook it as long because it's going to kind of spread out a little bit more. So what I do when I oil is I take a brush and I dip in olive oil. And then I go around the sides and just give it a really light coating. I think this is better than butter. You can also use one of those Pam sprays if it's olive oil. If you're using regular butter, you're using saturated fat. And you might as well be taking it and slapping on your thighs. It's not good for you. My batter up. And I also preheated my oven to 325 degrees. Okay, so here's our finished product. See how it's nicely browned on the top? This actually sometimes works better if it's in a metal pan. So I just want to run the knife around the edges and it comes away really easily because we oiled it.